Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of the Smoke Room. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it for free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the newest version earlier, you can go to their Patreon, with $3 a month for this and other games. So, on the last Let's Play, Murdoch said the picture that we were looking at the day prior looks different to him. And he told us that he sometimes sees pictures changing, but only in echo. Also, we found out that the rat guy Ralph also has that, notices that. Also, we got the rest of the pictures and handed them over to Willem, who was drinking and doing something with a lady. Interesting. That could be his wife. Who knows? So we decided that me, Ralph, and Murdoch are going to the lake to do something at night. It do be like that sometimes. Anyways, let me reset my face. And start. Ralph carries the supplies, while Murdoch locks the door behind me. Snuff the lantern. We won't need it until we get to the lake anyway. Oh, I guess there are streetlights. He's right. Lights coming from plenty of houses, late into the night, making it easy enough to see in the dim lights of the hallways. Gravel and dirt crunch beneath our feet as we breathe the dry air. As we follow the road for a while, the houses get sparser and the stars get brighter. I clear my throat. Alright. I'd like to know why y'all are dragging me out here now. Ralph ignores me and keeps on walking. Murdoch breaks the silence. It's because it's important for both of us. For better and for worse. Start with the better then. Alright. Remember when I said that I used to spend plenty of summers out of town? Me and the rest of my siblings used to go by ourselves, since my mom and my grandma didn't have the best relationship. Shocking. Ralph lets out a laugh. So you got acquainted with Mr. Brines today? So you got acquainted with Miss Brines today. You still have your balls, so you did well. Murdoch hemmed. So, as I was saying, my grandmother certainly wasn't a Christian. Before she immigrated with my granddad, she was very involved with the customs, beliefs, and rituals of her community. She was very serious when she told stories about fairies, spirits, and goblins, like she believed them for real. They were fun stories, but I didn't believe a lick of them. But her ideas about places stuck with me. She seemed to think buildings and sacred places could have personalities and souls like people do. Was she one of those biddies who got every stone and every tree who thought every stone and every tree had feelings? Biddy. If cowboys can feel, why not trees? Both of you be less like yourselves for a second. Sam, her belief wasn't about nature all having sorts. Her belief wasn't about nature having all sorts of souls. It was about the collective experience of people building the soul of a place. Like why you're compelled to hush up in a synagogue or a church. Or why a room full of a dead person's belongings still feel like trespass, even years after somebody's been gone. She said feelings stick around like stains on the carpet. And what does that have to do with anything? We're going to a place where the idea consistently works. I hear Ralph stop ahead of me when I see him crouch down. He fumbles for a lighter in his pocket. It takes him a few moments to light the old lantern, but the sudden brightness tells on the success. We're close enough to the waterfront to hear the shoreline. It's still a bit of a hike from here. Wait, hike? I guess we're going just somewhere around the lake. Because I'm like, well, why are we supposed to on the lakefront? We have to get to a bit of the lake that goes between the canyon. I look around me and see lots of lights in the distance near the water. I never knew the lake was still crowded even after dark. Mate, why wouldn't it be crowded? It's big. It's big, bloody lake, and we're still in the middle of summer. That's some weird grammar. Big, bloody lake. I just thought it was important for this to be private. It will be. People stay clear from where we're about to go. When we get to where the lake meets the face of the rock and goes between it, we start to see some more pine trees, shrubs, and ferns. It's harder to walk here, but there's a narrow strip of land against one of the cliffs, and the water that lets us keep walking. On the other side, the lake opens up again, and there's more arches, more jagged rock formations. It's a late thing of the other game. I'm joking though. We keep walking until we come upon a large boulder in the sand beneath a shallow cave. Alright, we're here. Where's here? A place me and him have been coming for years. We're gonna make that sort of joke? The rat jerked his head to the fox, or rat. Ever since we were both boys. And after all these years, we discovered a neat trick. Murdoch digs through his pants pocket, slips out a photograph, and hands it to me. Look familiar? Your dad was showing me this earlier. Of course he did. He shows it to everybody. And I bet that he's told you about the story about a monster too. One that eats campers and nomads. So much that I sometimes hear folks telling stories about it. Like it's real. And like it's in that photograph. But it's just a mountain. Of course it's just a mountain. I was there. I took the damn picture. Except, sometimes it's not just a mountain. Sometimes, when I feel like I'm at my lowest, or when I feel like I'm worthless, I take a look at the photograph. When it's not a mountain, that's when I know I'm being messed with. If the photo is all we need, then what's the point of coming here? Because it's the easiest place for us to get in a terrible mood. The faster we're in a bad mood, the sooner we can force ourselves into a better one. The sooner we can force ourselves into a better one? Efficient, right? I'm in a bad mood all the time anyways. I don't need to put myself into one on purpose. Then what do you see in the photograph right now? It's just a stupid mountain. Hey, Sam? What's the worst memory you can think of? I don't want to think about that awful shit. I knew you'd hate this. Well, who wouldn't? This feels like a waste of time. But he's there. He's there. Staring back with dead eyes that won't close. Look at the photograph again. This is stupid. Try looking one more time. If it's not working, we'll stop. I take another look at the damn piece of paper. Son of a bitch! Much politer than my first time. So it worked. Yeah, I didn't click quickly after that, but there was a big slug on the mountain. So it did. Now, please explain the point of this. Aside from shaving more years off my life. In this town, when we're in an altered state of mind, sometimes it seems like we can suddenly see the stains people leave behind. It's like it makes the bad things real, and we add our own. So if we don't want to add heat to the boiler, so to speak, we have to find ways to control how we feel and what we can see. Such as? Well, the hard way is thinking yourself out of it. You recognize how you're feeling. You pinpoint the emotion in your head. And you think about what you're feeling over and over again to recognize it and to make it stop. I've done too much thinking for today anyway. What's the easy way? Substances. I feel my brow scrunch. Such as? Whatever works for you. Alcohol, psilocybin, cannabis. Just avoid opium. It takes your pain away, but seems to make you see more. So, you're a couple of druggies then. Considering my line of work, how is that remotely surprising? I stand up, ready to leave. No thanks. I'm not willing to put any poison in my body. I mean, alcohol, that's one thing. But cannabis? The devil's lettuce? Hey now. Poison? Really? We just said it's the easy way, not the only way. You've got a powerful substance factory in between your ears. Nothing weird happens to you while you work, does it? Huh? Now that you mention it, no. He said ears, right? It doesn't. You don't whore just for money, do you? You get that rush, right? Everybody gets a rush. It's called the climax. But you like to draw it out, right? To make it as long as it can? Well, it works just as well. No, wait, that works just as well as any substance. So are you saying that... that at the end of the game of Echo, we could have made that horrible monster that was chasing us stop, existing, was masturbating? It do be like that sometimes. Except, it's not possible to stay perpetually randy all of the time. Speak for yourself. The fox tried to fake a light laugh. Speak for yourself. The amount of times you try to ask for Poppy speaks for itself. The rat is lighting something again. I don't know what it is in those cigars anymore, but it's probably not tobacco. The scent is off. You should switch to cannabis. That one slows me down too much. You need to slow down. Don't you agree? He looks at me, still puffing on the funny-smelling cigar. It smells like skunks. His eyes look a bit red, even for a rat. This is the first time you've asked my opinion on anything. Because I think this matters. What matters more is figuring out how to make Sam stop seeing the monster in the picture. Fair enough. That's why we're here, after all. So, sex works for you. It works for me too. Well, it's not enough. Considering how much I do it, I still have problems. Ralph whistles. Sounds like it's a little unrealistic to manually induce an altered state in your body 24/7. Might even suggest a little bit of ganja isn't evil. Did they have the word ganja back then? Okay. This just makes me want to ask something. How do you both know what that sex actually works? Murdoch glares at the rat, but he rolls his eyes. How else do you think? We jerked it before looking a few times. Murdoch shrugged his shoulders. We needed to see that it works. It does. Ugh. Oh, please. You want me to slip a tip into your sock to stop you whining? Stock? Oh, sex. You think you can afford it? The rat looks flushed and mutters something under his breath. Please, don't tell me the only reason we're out here is because the two of you wanted to dope up and stroke off. Also, he's a pharmacist. You think you'd be able to buy it, like pay for it? I mean, minors can, at least. I mean, let's see, you got the minor. Nick. Cliff, he has the money. I'm not sure about, Murdoch. William, I wouldn't think so much either. Anyways. Don't be a blooming idiot. We just came here to think. This is where his brother died. For the first time, I hear a snarl come from Murdoch. It only lasts a second, but his lips are curled back, and I see a flicker of genuine fear in Ralph's eyes. But then, the fear turns to guilt. Sorry. Maybe I should tell him what you think about, just to even the playing field. No, you're right. That was wrong of me. Murdoch hands out his paw. He beckons with it. Okay, I'll take some now. Ralph stares at him for a moment. Then he rifles through his coat, plucks out a small green tablet, and hands it over. Murdoch takes it. I sigh and take a look at the photograph again. The monster's still there, clearer than ever. So I rub my chin and give the rat a signal with my hand. All right, give me one of those capsules too. I can feel my ear flick with agitation, but only if it's free. Ralph pulls the cigar out of his mouth. No, that would be a bad idea. He holds the cigar to me. Puff on this instead. So what's the capsule anyways? What is it? Cannabis. Same as the capsule. You'll feel it faster than he does, but it will leave your system quicker. So, is there some other reason the two of you stalk this location? Something you're still not telling me? Like I said before, this is a complicated place. I notice now that Ralph and Murdoch's behaviors have changed. Their voices are deeper, more solemn, but they also don't seem as formal or uptight. Ralph looks all around him and lifts his head to the rock ceiling. I think this part of the lake is evil. Some of our best memories happened here, but so did our worst. Remember when you caught that huge catfish stockings? Or catfish stockings, because stockings I guess is fox. I told you to stop calling me that. We both thought we'd be in the newspapers. We were way off, weren't we? We still had a good time. Till Holly snitched on where we were. But it still made seem us happy? Oh, is that his brother? He was so excited. I miss him too, Murdoch. The wind picks up. There were other kids who drowned near here too. People say there's something about the current that sucks you under. I don't really know what to believe. I just know it's easy to get privacy here. So we hate it. But we love it too. This place feels like everything we are. And everything we ever will be. It was our childhood. The two of us understood that there was something wrong with this damn town for years of our life. And now you do too. And this is where we come to learn how to cope with it in secret. We've been here for 9 years. Cope? Cope with what exactly? Let me just go back. I think like I'm reading but not reading well. Have been for 9 years. Okay. What the hell is preying on this town? The rat and the fox exchange a wary glance with one another, and then look back at me. We still don't know. And it might not be just one thing. That's something me and Ralph don't agree on yet. It's like a sickness of the mind that brings out the worst in people. The monsters in people's heads become real to them. Then they become crazy. But I think it's just one thing. Because whatever it is, it knows how to think like a person. And it knows how to hurt us too well. No wait, I see him scrunch his legs close to his chest, then wrap his arm around his legs. I want to figure how to hurt it back. Seems to serve better. Everybody who lives here deserves so much better. Ralph sighs. You alright? He shuts his eyes and squeezes a few tears out. Should be in 30 minutes or so. You're a really quiet crier. His tail wags as he chuckles. Thanks. I didn't mean it as a compliment. My lips are dry. I swallow before speaking up. I heard the pictures talk to me today, in the dark room. Nothing's ever spoken to me before. Me neither. Maybe the disease is making him hear things that aren't there? I jerk my head towards Murdoch. It told me to kill him. I lay it out quietly. How? Why? Strangulation. Not sure why. Yes, you do. The voice seems to think you know things. But what specific thing? It's even speaking to me now. You think you're safe to bleat my secrets? It's smarter to be useful. You're running out of opportunities. I'm coming. The wind gets just a little bit louder. Are you still hearing things? No. But it told me it was coming. I think it's angry with me. All of us look to the entrance of the cave. Do any of you hear that? Get down! Across from the opening of the rocks, there's signs of movement across the water. I can hear a strange squealing sound, like wheels on a cart. Then they come to a stop. We can make out a figure in the distance, covered in heavy layering. It's hard enough to see them in the dark, as it is, but the face is obscured by what might be cloth wrappings or bandages. Grunting and growling rings out into the night as the figure wrestles with something in the cart. Something that looks like an extra-large potato sack. It falls onto the ground. Murdoch lowers his voice to a whisper. What are they doing? Not likely anything good. Hopefully, they're not dumping anything toxic into the lake. If they're doing something harmful, we should probably interrupt. I hold Murdoch's forearm as he begins to stand up. Don't go near them. He gives me a confused look, then worry spreads through his face. I can tell that he's reminded how much stronger I am than he is right now, so he stops trying to stand and squats back down. The figure pauses for some time, as if looking around, before shuffling over to the wall of one of the canyons. It takes us a while to realize that they're picking up small rocks and sorting them into little piles. And then, the sack itself starts to move. No. That couldn't be a... The fox is silenced by the figure holding one of the large rocks over its head. Then, they bring it down. A muffled cry is cut short, and it turns into a horrible wet noise. Then there's nothing. None of us can say anything. Whoever it is hobbles over to one of the rock piles and starts stuffing the sacks with pebbles. It's close enough for us to hear the clattering. Then, the splash soon after, the reed-tied sack tumbles down the rocks and into the water. We have to go. Now. Shouldn't we wait for them to leave before running? We all feel the air move across our backs as we move behind the air move across our backs as the cave behind us wails, and Ralph's expression changes from concern into fear. They'll smell the smoke. As if on cue, the disgruntled figure disguised figure raises their head to sniff the air. Then they look towards us, and they bolt to the left. Run! The three of us hop onto our feet and book it out of the cave. What if they're carrying a pistol? I'm not going to look behind to check. Do you think they saw us? They definitely saw something. Probably couldn't recognize us. I can feel the stinging sensation build up in my legs as we keep going. We get to the front of the tunnel, which leads back to the crowded part of the beach. But I do a double take, and then stop based on what I'm seeing. The hell? Sam, don't stop running. Two girls, dressed in white dresses, are sitting on the rocks, staring at me. I keep up the jogging, but I can't help but look back when I pass them. They're gone. Did you see those kids? What kids? I stop and listen. There's definitely a muffled sneeze coming from behind a rock. But I pounce and grab whoever's there. A high-pitched scream pierces my ears. Let go of me, asshole! Then I let her go, and I have to dodge the swipe she makes at my face. The fuck? There's already little girls running around out here? Wait, there really are little girls running around out here. I wish I were surprised. Mind your business, Dick Staines, unless you're looking for a fight. She pulls out a switchblade. Whoa, wait. Is that any way for a young lady to be talking? No, wait. Yeah. Sometimes I want to reread a thing, but whatever. As if a bunch of weird old men who reek of pot have a place to tell me what to do. Old? I hate kids. Shouldn't you be doing your homework? I ain't got shit to do, old man. Besides, one of my friends is missing. Ralph groans. If you don't scoot on home, you'll end up missing too, bloody Deb. She spit on him. I'm gonna print that. There we go. Ralph made a motion towards her. Ralph, she's a child. You're a grown man. I don't care. I'll beat her ass. I'll beat yours, if you had any. We can't stay here. We have to go. The cat looks at me as if she's remembering. Oh, it's you. I remember you. Why do you have to go? You might have witnessed a homicide. And they might be chasing us. Oh. How interesting. Not interesting. You're not safe. Very interesting. You must be comfy with getting tailed by now. What did she mean by that? Fuck this. Let her fend for herself. That's what I wanted in the first place, stupid. We can't just leave a minor unaccompanied like this. It's not safe. And we are? Well, there's no point in arguing about it now. What? We turned to see where Ralph pointed. By now, the black cat has already scaled half the cliffside. How is she that fast? Stop talking and haul ass. I feel a little bitter once we're past the canyon tunnel and by the more crowded parts of the lake, running past each crowd. Some of them gasp or shout at us, asking us who we are. We're gone before we can answer. We keep running even when we make it to the road. And we keep running even when we're back in town. I slam the door as Murdoch and Ralph deal with multiple locks. I think that's a good time to call it. Because, woof. I don't know. I was expecting some kind of ritual for this episode, not possible homicide. Though the thing is, I can't tell if it's actual homicide, or, here's darkness monster stuff that didn't actually kill anybody. Or maybe somebody was killed back in time, and that's like a return thing. I mean, ever since there was that cave where there was the voices and stuff like that, I mean, and that picture, the one, because, like, I'm not sure if it's the same cave, but extras. Yeah, Nikolai, we'll eventually get to you. Don't give me that look. William. I think it's this one. I don't understand this part here, which is like a previous update and update. But, this, heartbeat. Nope. It's in the office. When was joked out witches. I don't know. I wonder how important all that stuff is. But yeah, this part right here, it's like, this is him remembering baseball. And also remember the mines with, hey, there's this, oh, you can see it better there, the skeleton guys over there. No es bueno. So, end of this Let's Play. So, comment, guys, comment, so much you like, dislike, tips, otherwise, if you like my YouTube and like to grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out the rest of the and please remember to spend your ammo sub control the pit population. Also, how far are we into, Murdoch's route? Okay, there's her there, which has her going into a cellar door. Also, wasn't there 2 for him? Okay, so I guess one of these things is like, hey, you did this or you didn't do that. I thought yours was more developed. I'll need to look at what's the difference between previous update and latest update. Or maybe I could just ask on the forum. Did I ever say if you want the game, go to itch.io? If you want to help them get the latest update, you can go to Patreon. Well, I just said it. And until next time, Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix, the Smoke Room. So thanks and see ya.